Ballers, rappers, she looking for the stars and the Hollywood actors. It's not a game, we talk about practice. Game night, and the nigga score with an actor.
This is it, man. What episode? Fuck the episode.
It don't matter what it is. It's whenever we air this shit. But we here in the building back live at the Candy Pens house in an undisclosed location, obviously.
No addies, no addies.
No addies ever. If you get the addy, you on the show, so. What's good?
When you get the addy self-destructs.
I'm gonna
on your phone and shit.
I'm gonna be honest, I had the address and I still couldn't find it. So let me help you out right there.
I was like this. He pulled up to the landscapers. He was like, "You seen Fulgar? Johnny?" No,
I did. I was racist. I was really.
It's fine.
It was real.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
All you gotta do.
It was.
Hey, listen.
It worked.
If I say no racist before I say some racist shit, is it automatic?
No,
like no offense.
Yeah, you have to say
about the offense over.
Yeah, I'm not racist, but that's what you. I'm not.
No. That's the old school. That means you are.
I'm not racist, but you know you're gonna say some fucked up shit after that.
That's how.
But anyway, man, y'all motherfuckers crazy, man.
Oh yeah, we got the peoples in here.
What's up?
You got Fredro Starr.
We're gonna do it this way. My name motherfucking Fredro Starr in general, man.
My name Johnny motherfucking Vulgar.
Yo, my name is Iceman. Homo Iceman Sharif. Let's get it.
Yeah, my name's just Tehran. I feel like that was lackluster. Like, maybe I should have went first.
All right, let's do it again. Right, take two.
I should have went first. Like, I don't like how everybody had like a designation.
No. You go first. Hey, yo, don't skip, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm gonna go with then you go. It should have went this way.
Yeah, you're right.
Clockwise. Now we're going counterclockwise.
Nah, do it. You start first.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Tehran. Just Tehran. You know, Tehran.
What's up, yo? I'm Fredro Starr.
Stupid.
Johnny Vulgar.
Nah, start again. Listen, we're gonna do this right now. All right, let's go, because we smoking this bullshit right here. It's that Louis 13.
At this point, my name's redundant. But you know, I have the most dangerous name at the table. Tehran is the capital of Iran. So
yeah.
So what?
Shout out to I got Iranian homies.
Thank you.
Tehran, are you?
Yeah, I'm half Iranian, half black.
Who's Iranian?
My dad's
Dominican.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Yeah. So my dad's Iranian. Speak Farsi. I speak basically every language you have in the Middle East. I'm in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the funniest nigga on earth.
You ever been to Iran?
I've been to Iran many times.
Oh, it's Iran.
I'm saying Iran to like hammer that home. You see
Iran? I said Iran.
Exactly. That's a microaggression right there. You know what I'm saying?
Iran.
No racist.
Two more Irans and nobody's flying ever.
I just gave you that.
I met this one Iranian dude. He was crazy. He kept saying motherfucker all the time.
Yeah.
That's your motherfucker. This dude is crazy.
Yo.
I said, I'm from Iran.
You know, when you learn the English language, any language, you learn the curses first. Spanish, you learn the curses first. You know,
that was his go-to, motherfucker.
Well, what's my man? What's good? What you got?
Let's get my man Iceman. You know, let's get right. Okay, all right.
What's good? What's poppin'?
Yeah, man, what's good?
Happy to be on your show, my nigga.
So tell the world who are you? Like, who are you? Who the fuck is Iceman?
Alright, first of all, a lot of people might not know I executive produce over 200 albums. You know what I mean?
Nice.
You know, I work with basically everybody.
Don't worry about the mic, man.
Don't worry about it. This shit is hot. That shit is popping. It's good. It's catchy.
Good profile, bro.
Yeah.
We gotta get that ice.
I just for short terms, you know, I'm in the business of music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the music business.
So how did you get into the music business? Where you from? How you got to the music business? Like, who are you? What's your
the first rap star I ever met was Biz Markie, Get Well, Biz Markie. I was about 11 years old. I was in my cousin's Cheddar. You know what I'm saying? We was listening to the Going Off album, Biz's album.
You was in Long Island?
Yeah, I used to live in Long Island and shit.
I'm from Long Island. Yeah,
I used to live in Coram and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was out there for a couple of years.
Okay.
I'm Biz, and my cousin basically introduced me to hip hop, and I was in love ever since. So, you know, Get Well, Bismarck. Yeah,
Get Well.
But that's from there. I moved back to Queens right in the middle of the crack era. So when I got back to Queens,
I was there.
I went to IS-74, and you know, all the kids from the South Side and Hollis was coming to school with money in their pocket and chains on their necks and all that. I was like, nah, fuck that. I want to
You don't know. The crack era, you had young kids 17, 17 with beating his Porsches, all that. Like, it was so much money on the streets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it was like, oh word, that's how you get money. Everybody was doing it.
So I wanted to find out how to get money. So right away, you know, I was in school like, y'all know Biz Monkey? They're like, yo man, chill out all that, man. We don't know no Biz Monkey and all that. Biz didn't pop and everything. And then all of a sudden, Biz popped on the radio with Roxanne Shante, and everyone in the school was like, yo, your man is on the radio. I was like, yeah, I told you my man and all that.
So you knew Biz early like that?
Like that.
Wow, I never knew that.
Mid-80s, no?
I know, I'm talking about like 84, 83.
Wow.
Oh. See, that's when I was.
So when I went to Cardozo High School. So when I went to Cardozo, my freshman year, Eric B. and Rakim was gonna perform at this place called Lamar East.
I remember Lamar East, son.
Right away.
I saw Big Daddy Kane at Lamar East. Word up. I remember a kid got shot at Lamar East. Remember?
Which kid though? You said
I don't
like
know.
one
Somebody got shot at Lamar East.
Listen,
that was crazy.
That day.
Lamar East? No, it wasn't a school. No,
it
Lamar
was
East was a club. Lamar East was a club.
It was in Elmhurst, Queens.
Yeah, Elmhurst. Right.
And the reason why it was so turbulent was because you had Astoria projects, you had Queensbridge projects, you had Woodside, Woodhaven. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All those projects out there going to that club. So, make a long story short, my first business transaction was me and my rap group at the time to open up for Eric B. and Rakim at Lamar East.
Wow.
At that joint right there,
I think I was there, man.
Sal Albertello signed me.
Sal, Fever Records.
You know what's crazy?
Fever Records. Shout to Sal, because Sal always booked Onyx to this day.
Right.
Yeah.
Rakim also gave me my first show. Opening up for him.
Wow.
Right.
Like 20 years later.
Right.
25 years.
That's crazy.
So right then and there, I had a little record deal, and I thought, I was so young, I had to bring my mother to the meetings and all that. And they were like, yo, you got to come up with $1,000 for the lawyer. My mom looked at me like, nigga, you go back to school. You ain't fucking lawyer. $1,000 for a lawyer. $1,000? That's when I got introduced to the hustling game, because my man Amon, God bless the dead, you know, he was a fly nigga. He was getting money. He had big knots of money in his pocket. And he showed me how to get money.
His name was Lenny. Yeah,
he showed me how to get money. So right away, I paid for my own lawyer. And, you know, I dropped the album with Sal. And then I thought right away he's gonna be rich.
Is that album on YouTube right now?
Right now,
what's that album?
It's called The Three Most Wanted.
The Three Most Wanted.
Fever Records.
Fever Records.
Right.
Do your due diligence. Do your Google.
Low key. This is before a lot of major niggas even came out. Like we was with like 3 Times Dope and all that kind of shit, and the Cover Girls and shit like that before. Spoolie G and shit like that.
So you came in the 80s, right? 80s. Did you come in through the 90s?
Yeah.
You're a comedian?
No, I started in 2011.
Oh, 2011.
Yo, I wasn't even a thought.
It's not even funny.
The one time I saw him, I asked for a picture. He said nah and kept walking. So
Yeah.
I didn't get signed, nothing.
Did you have a Tehran hat?
Yeah, I always have the Tehran hat.
So how you started in the game?
Always stay branding. Actually, it's interesting. So all the connection, like, so my uncles were like dope dealers in DC.
Right.
And my mom thankfully went the other way and went into law.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah. They calling right now. The feds is calling. They like,
as soon as you said that, bang. Put your joint on airplane.
Oh man, I think we gotta do it over, man.
No, you can just add it in.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man.
Don't worry about it.
Hold up. Let me make sure my phone's on.
We definitely gonna edit this now.
Yeah, because that was a history lesson right there.
Word. Now we got it.
Yo, some small deep shit real quick. I got to drop on my man Joint real quick, because we got a lot of history. He was in the room with me when I made my first $1 million.
No, we gotta
get that. Airplane mode.
There
we go.
I gotta teach my young brothers so they
know
that.
Yo, your light is on. It's gonna drain your battery.
Oh.
Y'all was ninjas with these phones. I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
Yo,
what is that?
Back from Milwaukee?
The
fresh pair of teeth and shit. Rich motherfucker.
Podcast shit. Learning. All right.
How does that look? How that camera look? Is it solid? Is it recording everything?
Yo, what's up, Hustle? Alright, man. Yo, listen, man. My man Iceman was telling you how he got in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got in the game. crack era.
Right.
Yo, Tehran, man, let's. I want niggas to know how you got in the game, man, because it's a lot of comedians out there who want to get where you at.
And it's the toughest gig on earth.
I don't know.
Yo, make me laugh. It's the hardest thing.
Rap hustle is the hardest gig.
No, it's the least lucrative. Yours is harder.
I mean, they're both difficult. It's actually a very similar game. The contrast is actually right there.
Right.
Basically, in entertainment world, comedy is the rap game. Because everyone thinks they can do what you do, but they can't.
Yes.
And that's the thing, because it looks like it's a zero-sum game. It looks like it's a one-man team, and it's not. Anybody who has made it in rap, anybody who's made it in comedy, you have to have a team.
Right. Kevin Hart with the red cup.
Exactly.
The honey motherfuckers
I mean, you have to have the right people behind you. But when I came up, like my family, so I'm half Persian, half black.
Right.
So my dad came here in the 80s to get away from the revolution. And my
You
mom...
know, we have black niggas, man.
Yeah.
You gotta watch them have black niggas.
Yeah, we should watch out for us.
It's the other half I'm worried about. It's the other half I'm worried about. The black I'm good with. The other half.
That's why I got into comedy. Like, my mom's family was in that dope game.
Yeah.
And my mom became a lawyer. I actually went to law school.
Your mom became a lawyer?
Yeah.
You went to law school?
I went to law school, but I was getting in a lot of trouble.
Wow.
Trying to be like my uncles. My uncles... And,
so your mother's very
D.M.C.
My mom's cousin is Rayful Edmonds, so that was
wait a minute.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
I said my mom's cousin is Rayful Edmonds, so that was like a whole era in the 80s, so I always had that following me when I was growing up.
So you took it to a whole nother direction.
So I was like, yeah.
Did your mom ever defend her?
My mom did, but she did defend Marion Barry.
Wow.
Who's my godfather.
You ain't got caught.
That's your godfather?
I give up.
Yo.
I give up.
You know what? Because there's a joke that my uncle sold him the crack.
That's funny. Probably did.
That was like a joke because my uncles are the Cali brothers.
Yo, boy, look, boy. You got that money, right?
Exactly.
You keep that on the low.
Me and your mama go way back now.
Yeah, bro.
Better not tell your mama.
I went to school with your mama now, boy.
Exactly.
And I'm the mayor, motherfucker.
He's the mayor.
I'm still the mayor.
I'm still the mayor. Remember that.
As a matter of fact, send the bitches over to you.
And you know what's crazy? He will always be the mayor of DC. Gone.
Yeah.
Rest in
He's the
peace.
devil's shit.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, they voted him right back.
They did.
They loved him.
Yeah, because you know why? It ain't about how much crack you smoke. It's about what you do for the community.
Yeah.
Exactly. It really is.
The man now is a black woman.
Representative, no matter. Yeah, she is.
And Chappelle was talking. I don't know if you saw that. He was like, "If you want to smoke crack, get around this system."
You said I'm the funniest. That's the funniest.
He just got caught. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else don't get caught.
I said, I know.
Yeah.
They probably have wild shit going on.
Yeah, funniest you know. Yeah.
I don't know Chappelle shit.
But I got into comedy basically. You know, it's interesting because I feel that this is why representation is so important. This is why we need a star, we need an Iceman, we need a Johnny Vulgar. Because when I was going through law school, I wanted to do something. I wanted to get into the music business. I wanted to be Iceman. I wanted to be the dude behind the scenes who made stuff happen. Right? So then that all kind of became a thing. And then I realized I want to be my own product. And this is what happened. I saw this comedian named Mikey Winfield. He's a light-skinned black guy with a fro. And I saw him on Fuse Network doing jokes and showing music videos. And at the age of 21, I was like, yo, if he can do it, I can do this shit. Like, and that's how important representation is. I saw someone at the age of 20. I wasn't 8, I wasn't 10, I wasn't 14. I was already a grown man, and I saw someone doing something I could do.
Well, you was always a funny person, right? High school.
I mean, yeah, I was in a lot.
You can't just be like, yo, I want to be. You like it had to start from school cracking jokes, right? Am I right?
Look, there's an art to being a smart ass. So it's not just being funny. You start realizing there's an actual art form to it.
Right.
And you have to do it.
Right.
I mastered this art.
Until you get on stage.
Right. Yeah, I never
get on stage.
Yo, people be like, yo, you should do some shit. So I started writing some shit. You don't even know this.
But I'm funny at both y'all niggas.
For real?
Science?
Niggas
what you call it. But You gotta talk natural.
No, he just talks. He talk very fast.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
a perfect example of everything that they can do. Do it on stage.
It's like the same people that
Do it on
freestyle in
stage.
Cypher
Yeah.
at the lunch table, they think they can be rappers, and it's like,
And this is why
Everybody on Instagram ain't hot.
Yeah.
Well, this is why I think the music game is different. I think in comedy, still the cream is rising to the top. Funny is gonna be funny, right? In the music business, the cream ain't rising to the top.
But you know what? It depends on who's opinion. Because I think to some of the most funniest people that they think are funny, I don't think it's funny.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying no names because I'm not gonna do that.
You
but
can say names.
You don't like Kevin Hart?
Oh my God! Why you gotta say that? No, Kevin
You
Hart's
want to
not
fight
funny.
Kevin Hart on the undercard of Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.?
No, but you know what? Me and Kevin Hart would probably have a good fighting scene in the movie because it's like a little, you know.
Because you have the same.
That would be an old.
He's actually shorter than
No,
you.
he is shorter than me, but that would be an old scene.
You might freak out fighting someone shorter than you for the first time.
And I know
That shit might be rough.
Like we be doing that push-ups too. Oh,
Oh, he probably like a motherfucker.
no, but I.
Kush push-ups. That's it. You did the Kush challenge.
Nah, but my thing is, some people that, you know, it depends on whose opinion, you know what I'm saying? Or who's funny or who's the ill
Of
rapper.
course, but that's the whole thing, even with music, right? We love to point out people like, oh, these people are garbage. They're not. It's not for you. That's just not for you.
No, some are garbage.
The most garbage rappers are the
Some
most
are
famous
garbage.
or the most richest.
It's not for you.
I ain't gonna name a name either.
My whole thing is, I hear that a
The
lot.
most garbageous nigga.
All right.
He ain't even a nigga.
All right. So
You know what I'm saying?
now this is where.
He's this nigga, the most garbage nigga. I mean, and he's like the richest nigga.
What color is this shit?
Oh man, they
Carrot top. It's carrot
a lot
top.
of colors.
It's carrot
A lot
top.
of colors.
A lot of colors.
So this is what I'm saying. It's just not for you, right?
can say.
So with comedy, art is always going to be subjective. Of course, there is a finite definition of what's good.
Right.
However, once you get into that era, it'll be depending on your background experience. It's like, why is a 40-year-old still listening to the same music his 14-year-old nephew is listening to? It's not for you.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just not for you. It's okay. We'll be okay. But how come they don't do the same
need to
comparison in
develop.
rock music?
Right.
In rock music, you never heard someone who listens to Nirvana be like, I hate Blink-182.
You know what? They
The
got,
rock music is whack.
Just don't fuck
but
with.
they got niggas that
Fuck it.
they'll be like, yo, that's whack. They got whack niggas in their culture.
I ain't gonna say rock music is whack.
Yeah.
What? All right. Now, peep this. In
Real
that
rock
game,
tunes. They be
in
like,
that
yo,
game, there's
this is
levels
so.
to this, right?
Right.
Like, there's a lot of artists popping right now that have a team of writers.
Sure.
All right, now you in comedy, there's a different ball game with people who write material and people who get material written for them. Is it frowned upon the same way? Is it frowned
Sure,
upon?
I'm not at the point where I can afford writers or even need them because I'm still.
Oh, no,
it's like
I'm talking about the
coming
other
out with your first album. Why is that your best album? Because you had your whole life to write it. So
Exactly.
I'm coming up with stuff and I have a very fresh perspective, especially with my background stuff.
This is how I feel about writing. Writing, because I work with a group, you know what I'm saying? I work by my solo. If you got writing somebody that rock with you and y'all make good music, y'all write, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, but
you gotta be able.
You're infringing on
So
something
you got no.
crazy
Huh?
because you have to explain the particulars. It's not when we talk writing. When I'm talking like someone pens something for you. There's people getting reference tracks. They got the whole track laid out for them and they re-sing it.
People like Diddy. I'm sure a lot.
I'm not talking about Diddy.
People like
Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
We
those
know
are-
that.
He's talking about Drake. He's talking about Drake.
Drake had writers. He admitted to it.
Did
Did LL have writers?
Hey, no blasphemy on the LL.
I'm just asking.
Hell
Blasphemy.
How you know?
He ain't here right now. That's why we know.
How you
He
know?
ain't here to
LL
defend
the best
himself.
ever.
Whoa.
LL is one of the best, but that don't mean he ain't have writers.
Top
That don't mean he ain't have
Nah,
somebody pen something for him.
No, he's one.
Who,
He
E-Love?
coined the phrase "go."
Who E-Love wrote for him? Nah. E-Love didn't write to LL wrote his rhymes.
Listen,
You had to write your
it's fire. So there's writers
Let me
that
ask you a
have.
question. You have an album coming out, right?
Right.
Do you have writers?
Not one.
Not one.
But I never seen you. Nobody
You
else
got an
did.
album out.
Nobody ever wrote for me.
So-
No, but I've been in the studio
But you
with
written for people?
I've been in the studio with people that
Vibe.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We make things happen.
That's
2 or
different.
3 bars here and
That's
there.
different,
Right,
dog.
right, right.
That's why I wanted. That's why I had to cut you off because I don't want people thinking. But you gotta understand, these minds out here, they ain't writers, they ain't artists. Just because they downloaded Pro Tools, they ain't producers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when Fredro Starr says it, there you go. So I don't want them running with that shit. I don't need no Carlos Mencias in my fucking cipher, dog.
No, fuck. There's a difference. So this in comedy, it'd be
so it's fuck
Instagrammers. It'd be the Instagrammers, right? So it's like I'm working hard, and then they're coming through and just making stuff like it's simple and it's done. And a lot of comedians hate against that, but to me, it's like, don't be bitter, be better. Like it's okay
for stealing.
Don't be bitter, be better.
No, Carlos Mencia was stealing.
Yeah, Carlos Mencia was allegedly stealing jokes.
Allegedly,
I don't have. I'm not even.
Joe Rogan called him out.
Yeah, Joe Rogan also got in trouble for allegedly taking material at the time.
So inside comedians.
You're from DC, right?
I'm from DC.
You fuck with the Washington Wizards.
You know, I want them to win.
Or Bullets.
Yo, but the Bullets.
Like the Bullets.
You support them. Or you like
I mean, I'm a fan of.
We gotta ask Lakers and Ballers, so we gotta.
I'm a fan of all my home teams. I just wish they would win.
You're also 6'12". You ain't play ball?
I play ball.
Okay. He's 6'12". He plays ball.
You're 6'12".
No, I'm 6'2".
That's
6'2".
That's what we listed at. John Wall's a baller. Like, do I have
John Wall gonna ball? Is John Wall gonna ball? That is the motherfucking question. Is John Wall gonna ball?
I mean, he's a baller. I don't know if he's a team leader. That's the problem. John Wall's a baller.
He needs someone else. He needs someone else.
Maybe needs a leader. Motivation.
I think they need to break. I think they need to break I think they need to break up the team, man.
Just don't
start over.
Or make a mess.
You gotta get rid of him.
Inspiration. You guys are a part of a group. How many times you lose motivation in a group and it happens?
There's always one
you play ball before somebody don't pass you the ball. You might not run.
When's the last time we seen John Wall ball?
I don't know.
That's the question.
He ain't in the bubble.
You think he's gonna be? You know what I'm saying? The same. It's been over what?
Is KD gonna be the same?
It ain't been that long though.
He can ball.
Now let's bring it to your era because, well, he was talking about the 80s and 84, 85.
Nah, salute to John Wall. He's one of the best.
Prolific hooper, right? Who went through an injury that today is like starting to be like Tommy John surgery. Motherfuckers are bouncing back from ACL tears better than before. Right. Adrian Peterson, all these crazy.
It's very difficult. It's very. I tore my ACL 2 years ago.
What? And on the comedy stage?
Nah, playing ball. The little. So I flew it from
Chicago. You still thought you had the one too?
Oh, I did. I got fouled, and I tore my ACL.
No, but in the 80s, peep this. Bernard King suffered that injury, and people thought he was over. Like that was a death sentence in the 80s. Right. You tore your ACL, your career was fucking over. You're out of here.
Y'all be on your page, man. You got the Bag Talk Entertainment, right? Right. So explain to me, like you be like placing, like you be getting deals.
We do it all, man. You know, we do a lot of music syncs and stuff. You know, licensing. We do distribution deals. We do it all. Film distribution, music distribution, television distribution. You name it. So we place it. So we just on sync fees alone. We did like about syncs. We did about 400 syncs last year alone.
Yeah. What is syncs? What that mean?
Yeah. You know, we actually place music on film, place music on a television show.
Oh, nice.
Shit like that.
So that's what the real money's at.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
That's like real money.
That's the business. That's the business.
That's
business.
business.
I was trying to tell you about.
And I love that because that's what they're not telling people. When you talking about the crack era and everybody having chains and cars, nobody said, hey, let's buy some property. Let's get together and all those blocks that we're killing over, let's actually own those blocks. Right. Nobody said that.
Nobody said that.
So that's why I'm like, yo, we need people like Ice to put people on game because that sync money,
right.
White people have been getting that money for a long time.
That's the residuals.
They're playing their same songs. They going on tour 40 years with the song. They came out in 72.
Are you going full Nick Cannon right now?
Listen, not only white people though, black people too. You know what I'm saying?
not in the same.
I love Jews.
No, yes it is.
Taking advantage of the situation. Right. This isn't about any type of.
I'm gonna just give you some Jews though from a comedy because I got a chance to work with Cat Williams. And a lot of people they say what they want to say.
Brilliant.
You dropped the ball on that
one. One day I brought him $1 million, and I was like, "Yeah, son, he gonna close this." Matter of fact, it was $2 million. So I brought him $2 million. You know what I'm saying, from E1, and he said, "Who gave you this offer?" Because he was just cool. Because my man Freaky Zeke, shout out to Freaky Zeke, set up the meeting. So he looked at the looked at the $2 million offer, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm already picking out furniture for my new crib." So I was like, "All right, cool, you can take that, right?" And he said, "Yo, call a dude." He put out, I'm not gonna say no names, said from the phone, said, yo, motherfucker, don't ever send me no shit like this in your motherfucking life.
Who told him that?
Cat say that.
He said, motherfucker. How did he say that? He said it.
It was only for 30-minute stand up, right? And then he hung up the phone. I looking at him like, yo, son, you blocking me, bro? Like, you know me, I was like, yo, what's up, yo? He was like, nah, let me build with you. So he said, yo, listen, I'm the #1 rated comedian in history over Richard Pryor, all these niggas. Sales. And he's like, this is people brought out the paperwork. They showed them talking about sales, video sales, and ownership and everything. Right. I called the dude back like, yo, why you put me in front of him with all that? You supposed to give him the numbers and all that. What is he going on? Yo, put him back on the phone. The guy was trying all that. I was like, yo. So the point of the saying is that.
Did the deal go through?
Yeah.
Did it go through?
Yeah.
Okay.
With much higher numbers, I guarantee you, because Cat owns all of his
all of his own specials. That's the business of comedy. So get into the business of comedy.
100%.
And you'll see a different.
Listen, if y'all motherfuckers do something, so we gotta find this beat.
Right.
Honestly, you about to be in it. This is about to be a conglomerate.
Oh, listen.
We can all win.
Listen, I'm gonna need you. Listen, the scene in the movie. When we go to the comedy store,
it's you.
No,
you and I.
We should be shooting something. Should we talk about it?
Yeah.
Shoot something. Let's go see it go. Let's go see it go. We're actually going to shoot some scenes here at the Candyman's Mansion. And basically, it's the black entourage. You know what I'm saying? Because
we really did.
We got the palm trees. We got Sunset. We got Hollywood
We
Boulevard.
really did.
We got all. This is all ours for the taking. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote a genius script about the black entourage, black Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's playing themselves. So
except
you just gotta
I'm gonna bug you out. One time there was a building. There's a building down by in Santa Monica that we was in. We had a deal on every floor. You know what I'm saying? EMI, Fremantle Media, Lionsgate. We had a deal on every floor.
Listen. We got the Mike Tyson fight coming up, right?
Yes, I know that.
What you think about that?
What you know about that?
Mike Tyson in 2.
I don't look.
Mike Tyson in 2.
I'm not a boxing fanatic. However, I am one of the people in my family invested in this fight, so I will be at the fight.
Whoa! Your family invested in the fight. Who's your family?
I told you I'm half Persian. No, we told you that part. And then we got the half black side of the entrepreneur.
Wait. So wait. Your people invested in this fight?
Yeah. Actually, just last year, this time, pre-Corona, BC, before Corona, I was in Saudi Arabia for 2 months and just.
Since we talking about boxing, can we just move?
And I'm actually telling you something. This is something you might not realize. We reached out to you to have a deal for you to come to. Jeddah.
You fucked up.
Reached out to who, me?
Yeah, we reached out. Because we wanted to bring that in. That we brought.
Somebody dropped the ball, Chance. Somebody dropped the ball. Either way, I know it's
that's what I'm saying.
I would have made the deal happen.
Damn, drop that ball, Chance.
That is a real thing. So we wanted to have a nice.
You know what?
We'll be back after these messages.
You 100% heard about.
I heard about.
You know
Iran. Yes.
You were supposed to come to Saudi Arabia and do the Jeddah Festival.
Oh,
yes.
And it was alongside Iceman's best friend 50 Cent. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. But it was about a lot of different people.
Right into the 50. What a segue.
That's a real thing.
Right.
So you got a story thing.
Because we had different people. We had Rick Ross and Tiger come and do the fight.
Right.
Okay. The Amir Khan fight where they performed. And Tiger actually really impressed me with his attitude. Something I'd never really linked with him.
What about his hairline?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. He was every fan that was there that met him. He took a picture and took time and met with them, and that was something that always just is stuck with me in my head. We brought Ace Hood out. So Ace Hood performed at the first club in Saudi Arabia. He was actually an extremely wonderful person himself.
Yeah.
And then we had everybody else come, and then the Nicki Minaj stuff happened where they were like, maybe we're not ready for Nicki to come out, and then Nicki's camp backed away, and it solved itself.
So I wasn't the only one.
Yeah. we wanted
Queens motherfuckers drop the ball.
We wanted y'all there.
But listen, man, this Mike Tyson fight gonna be crazy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Tyson in 2.
Tyson
knocked him out.
2?
He had no choice. I think Tyson got good.
I think he's gonna run away the whole fight. Tyson gonna be tired. That's what I think. Because he's not gonna let Tyson
I'm gonna be honest.
His ass at all.
I love Roy and I hate talking about Roy, but Roy lost his legs a long time ago. He ain't running nowhere.
Listen.
Watch his last 10 fights. He's on the ropes. He's doing his little pie shine. He ain't even putting combinations together.
You think Tyson gonna smoke weed before the fight?
I hope so.
He's gonna be like this, blowing it down
so.
before the fight.
Might smoke once before one fight.
Why you work out smoking?
Mike said he smoked one time before a fight, and it was versus Andrew Galata.
Broke his ass.
Broke his fucking ribs, his orbital socket, all sorts.
I think weed makes him focus, so I think he might, if he smokes some
with him, you know how much he smoked. Like he probably need that shit.
Yeah, but I'm talking
I can't do this show without
the breathing, the breath, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's why he got to get him out of there too.
Nigga be like this. Come here.
Yo, it would be legendary if he light one up in ringside.
Yo, Iceman, you gotta go, right?
Yeah.
Iceman gotta go.
Let's bring him in.
No. Since we talking about Iceman, look, Iceman gotta go. He got a new album. You know what I'm saying? You got some.
Yeah. It's coming on the outcome. Yeah.
Talk about before you leave. I think there's no way to find you and all that.
Bag Talk CEO. You know what I'm saying, on Instagram. That's it. You know what I mean? We the future, present of the entertainment business.
Yo, Hustle, what up? I know the Hustle is going.
We can only afford Iceman for 23 minutes. That's a cold ass name. That's a cold ass name. You got from George Gervin or some other shit.
Well, why not check?
Cash App, nigga.
That'll be Fredro
PayPal. That's how we do it.
Fredro Starr PayPal.
See what I'm saying? They already take too much.
We ain't got it.
It's alleged money.
Yo,
I love what y'all doing.
Thank you for pulling up, King.
Yeah.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you,
You heard? And we talked about a lot of things, and we're gonna get things shaking.
Yo, check this out. I got my people's Link in the building. Yo, Link, what up, son? Since we're talking about boxing, this is the perfect segue. You know what I'm saying?
We got the time.
I'm here right here. We good.
I'm gonna make sure you.
What up? Yo, this is my people's right here. Yo, this my
Let's bring another joint. We gonna
Yo, Saran, you out?
Yeah, I got
he has a meeting.
Alright, man. Saran, man.
Yo,
You got that all you money.
Not yet, but I'm getting it.
You heard? You've been here forever.
Yo, before we leave,
I didn't even get the chance.
Yo, Ice, before we leave, we take a picture.
Oh, that's it.
I wanted to hear that, so I didn't want to give away your material, though, but oh my God, you gotta be there.
I stay in playoff mode, take no days off. 6 rings, no game 7s, I own my court. 3rd pick made the earth sick in '84, and I still got a mean buzz. I'm the GOAT.